Hi, I'm E.D. Lewis and welcome back to my channel, and today we're doing another book tag, and this one is one I try to do annually, and that is the Mid-Year Book Freakout Tag. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to a new skull that I'm adding to my library. This one I picked up when I was away for a week, when I got, the sun poisoning and whatnot. Actually that day is when I got this, so I got this skull, and he's going to be added to the library. I just had to have him when I saw him. And his name is Jeremiah, as in Jeremiah Collins. So I'm not really sure where he's going in the library yet, but we will figure that out. So anyway, let's get started with today's tag. And there are 13 prompts. I'm not sure I have answers to all of them, but we'll see what happens. I did flip through them and try to think of answers, so yeah, we'll see. So number 1 is best book you've read so far this year. That's a tough one because I have a lot of 5-star reads so far. So, like I said, that's hard because I had one that I really enjoyed during the Gothic Arts Reading Challenge. I had one that I read right before I went on my little getaway for a week, and that video went out actually at that time, and the book right after that one, and there was a book during Old School April, and there's the book I'm reading right now that I'm not finished with at the time of recording this. So yeah, I don't really have a straightforward answer, so you may just have to wait and find out at the end of the year. 2, best sequel you've read so far this year. Let me double check here. I don't think I've read any sequels, and we're not going to count comic books. Well, sequels to, well, I guess it could mean sequels to books from this year too. I've only actually, I think, read one maybe? Well, that one is kind of a sequel. Well, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to go with this one so far for sequels, and that's Red Interlude by R. St. Clair. This is part of the Blood Dance trilogy, which I have yet to finish. Hopefully I'll finish it later this year. There is a werewolf event happening later this year, and hopefully I'll get to it, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one, so that'd probably be the best sequel I've read so far, or listened to, because there was another sequel I'd listened to too. 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to. Blood on Her Tongue is one that I really want to read, and it hasn't been out that long. I'm very intrigued by it, but I also want to read that author's previous book. I can't remember the author's name off the top of my head, but I just acquired her previous book. It was on sale on ebook form for a really good price, so I snatched it, and that one is My Darling Dreadful Thing. I'm sorry, I cannot think of the author's name. Clearly the book will pop up on the screen and I'll have the author's name, so. I'm going to go with that because I'm not sure on new releases that have come out so far. There is a really anticipated one I want to read that won't come out until next month, so. 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Okay, I forgot that question was even coming up, so, that would be the new Dark Shadows graphic novel called Curse of Dark Shadows. I'm really looking forward to that. That comes out sometime in July, so that at the moment is my most highest anticipated new release. So, and I should have wore the Barnabas ring for this video, I guess. Oh. 5, biggest disappointment. Okay, so there's the worst book that I've read so far this year, which I'm pretty sure is the worst book I've ever read total, but that was not my biggest disappointment because I was forewarned about that one. The biggest disappointment for me would have to be Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. I have a review about this one. I will link it down below in the description. Always check the description. You never know what I'll have in there. Yeah, it wasn't a very long book. It was pretty short. It was a novella, but it was very slow. And a lot of the action already kind of took place. And so it's kind of like investigating behind the scenes and getting the answers and resolution to things. It was just not what I was hoping for. So unfortunately, that's my biggest disappointment. 6, biggest surprise. Biggest surprise. No, because I was kind of like half anticipating that one. Here. Okay, so biggest surprise. This one was the first book I completed for the year. It's also my first 5-star review, and that is Ebon Moon by Dennis McDonald. I didn't think that I'd like this one. I actually listened to it for free on Audible, and it blew me away. It was fun. I have not read a ton of werewolf books, but this one I highly recommend. And it was kind of gruesome. It was rather traditional horror. It was monster horror. It was written really well and very compelling. And it had one of the worst characters I've encountered so far this year. And not that there haven't been others, because there have been, especially a whole book of terrible characters. But that one was the first. And man, that guy is fill in the blank. The character that I'm talking about in the book, I mean. So yeah, biggest surprise with Ebon Moon. 7, favorite new author debut or new to you? Ooh, this one's a tough one too, because a few different new to me authors. I'm just gonna name a few. I'm not gonna say one or the other, so I'm gonna go ahead and include Dennis McDonald, who wrote Ebon Moon. Morgan Black, who wrote Dracula Bound in Blood. Adeline Grace, who wrote Belladonna. Kat Dunn, who wrote Hungerstone. And Noah Medlock, who wrote A Botanical Daughter. And actually, there's one that I'm reading right now, which I will have a review up. If I can get it finished, because I'm literally filming this on the first day of summer. So I'm hoping to get it finished in time to film it for my next video. So we'll see what happens. But that author too. 8, newest fictional crush. I don't have one since the holiday season, which I'm not sure. Did I? I had to have mentioned that. And that would be Prince Hex from The Nightmare Before Christmas. So not really part of this reading year technically, but still my latest fictional crush. I haven't had one since, but yeah. I love Prince Hex. He's the Prince of Halloween Town, by the way, so. If you have not read that book, I highly recommend it. So if you're looking for a Christmas in July book, which I don't think I'll be doing Christmas in July this year, I recommend that one because it's got a bit of spookiness and it's got holiday, so it's a good marriage. So, what is the next one again? Newest favorite character. I would say Signet Faro from Belladonna. She's the main character. I have reviewed that book, so check out that review. She's flawed, yes, but she kind of accepts that, I feel, and she kind of owns it a little bit. So, but she's also a strong character, and she also grows as the book progresses. So yeah, and she's a pretty strong character. So. I could name probably a few others, but she's the first one that pops in my head. Which I'm looking forward to read the next book in that, and spoiler alert for a future book called, I I got it not too awful long ago. So maybe about a month ago or so. 10, book that made you cry. Did I cry at any book? No, I don't think I did. So, I don't have an answer for that one. 11, a book that made you happy. Several of these books made me happy, so we're gonna go with one of the more recent ones. Actually, we're gonna go with the most recent one, Botanical Daughter by Noah Medlock. Especially that ending, that made me very happy. That the way it resolved and how the characters, certain characters in it, completely changed and evolved by the end of the story. So, I was not dissatisfied with that book. The review for that is linked down below. 12, most beautiful book you have acquired this year. Well, here, let's pull out Wuthering Heights. By the way, if I've never shared this, this is a Wuthering Heights. It's actually a coaster, but I'm using it as a tile, so I thought that was really cool. I got that at a local book hunt last year. So, most beautiful book I've acquired this year, I would say, is Belladonna. I love this cover. There are other covers I have, but this one I think is my most beautiful one I've gotten so far. And number 13, I gotta unlock my phone again, is what book do you need to read before the end... Oh, sorry, what books do you need to read before the end of the year? Well, that Dark Shadows one that's coming out is one that I gotta read. I'm really hoping to read this one in maybe August, I'm not really sure, but The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Beyond that, I'm not really sure. It just depends on... Oh, well, I don't know where I have that book right now. It's probably somewhere on my cart. The Wolfman novelization that I have not finished yet, and I've had that going since not this past Halloween, but the previous Halloween season. So, but it's kind of gone on the back burner. So I need to finish that one. So that's all I'm going to say for that, for those, because I really don't have any full-on plans. I do have some books that I'm planning on reading in the next several months, or at least hoping to anyway, right before Halloween time starts. So anyway, we'll see. So I'm not going to tag anybody for this, but if you're seeing this and you have not done this tag this year and you'd like to, I tag you. Please tag me in the video because I'd love to see what your answers are. And yeah, so tag you're it. And until next time, stay safe, stay spooky, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.